Okay, that worked. Hi, I'm Jill. Ruby says hi too. Ruby, nobody's here. I'm just talking to these people. Welcome to Remain Calm and Keep Sticky. Today I have plans, and I also have a couple of finishes, and I have some progress. Ruby, got it. Good girl. First, before we actually start with plans and whips and that, I want to mention this week I've been watching Two Tall Stitchers. I had to catch up on them a bit. That's Carol and Jen. They're funny and they're very calm. If you like a nice quiet video, that's them. There's a New England Stitcher, that's Stephanie. I watched her. She did her whips, took her an hour and a half. I don't think that's too many. I think that's a perfect amount of time to do whips. Mine aren't that long. I also this morning I watched Andrew the Runner Stitcher. And I have to catch up on him because I missed a couple and I have to see that piece that he was doing. And for the first time yesterday, I watched Nancy, the Disorderly Stitcher. She was very good. And one that I never miss is the Sable Stitchers, Lenny and Roberta. And Sable, as Roberta will tell you, is stash accumulated beyond life expectancy. I am definitely good for 150 years because if I go sooner than that, Peter and I are going to have a talk because I got stitching to do. So that's what I wanted to remember to tell you. So I always forget, when I'm ready to go, it's like, okay, well, I'm done. And I forget that I have to do that because I want you to know who I watch because I think they're pretty darn good. And if you go over there, let them know I mentioned them, please. I want them to know I thought of them. And I thought they were good enough to mention. So the finishes I have. This is Gingham Greetings. And this is from Stitching with the Housewives, and it has to be one of my oldest ones because I think they were the first ones maybe that I started watching. And it was my intention to have just this little loop at the top. So what I did with this is batting, and then I turned things inside out and stitched all around. And then I had to take a couple stitches out because it was thicker than or stiffer than regular fabric for quilting. And I turned it, and then I hand stitched the bottom, and then I realized that the loop that I had stitched put it the wrong way. Did I mention I'm dyslexic? It shows in patterns and algebra. Algebra was not fun for me. Actually, algebra was a non-entity for me because I couldn't get it. I have, you can tell me, do this, do this, do this, and then say, okay, now do it, and I can't do it. It's not there. And when I was in high school, dyslexia wasn't a word. So it was rough. So anyway, I decided I was not going to take everything apart and do it all over again. I just wanted this to be done. And I didn't have to stitch much to finish it. I did finish the green on the tree and I finished the snowflakes and that was like it. So I decided to stitch this and to cover up the ends, I made a bow and I put a loop in the middle and there it is. It's all ready to hang up on the tree. And I think it came out good. It's fine. It's not a gift, it's for me, and I like it. I did tell you I'm going to make the Santa postage stamp. Thank you, dear. And I couldn't show it to you because I had already sent it to someone. So I made another one, not because, you know, I needed to show it to you because it's so small. I mean, I don't think it's really going to impress anyone, but I really like it. And so I wanted to do it, and I did kind of want to show you. So the bottom, his beard, is, I think it's a blending thread. It's a metallic. Very, very pretty, nice and shiny. And then his hat and his little puffball, those are Rainbow Gallery fuzzy stuff. So I think it came out really nice. It's supposed to be a full coverage. You're supposed to do uh, the blue stitches, but since it was already on light blue fabric, I saw no point to doing light blue stitches. So that's my postage stamp. And I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I really love postage stamps. I did this yesterday morning, that fast. That was fun. Now this is an artist trading card. Or at least I hope it is. It's my first one and I hope I did it right. Um, the theme is something from where you live, if I have it right. I think I do. And if you're interested in making one of these artist trading cards, which are really simple, and you send it in and you get one back from somewhere else. And the trade is being run by Stitching by the Shore by Laura. And she has a playlist where you can learn how to make the artist trading card. It's not rocket science, it's easy. There's nothing fancy about them. The only real rule is 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And that's pretty easy. Just stitch your border and then stay inside it. So what I did was this rose, bottom rose. This is from DeliaStitches.com on Etsy. And I used her pattern as my base. But then I added the 2 roses and I added the postage stamp effect. And the rose is the Lady Banksia rose. It happens to be the largest rose bush in the world. It covers 9,500 square feet. And it is located in Tombstone, which when I first came out here for a vacation, which is when I fell in love with Arizona, I was in Tombstone. Of course, you have to go to Tombstone. And that was one of the tourist spots. So I thought, oh, what the heck? Not that I really wanted to see a big rose bush, but this thing's incredible. You literally walk underneath it. It's huge, 9,500 square feet. And it was from a cutting from Mary G's garden, which is in Scotland. Her family sent her the cutting, just, something from home. And she and her friend planted it in 1885. And this rose tree is still going strong. So it's worth a visit, even if you just want to ask them what fertilizer they use, because I know I struggled with my rose bushes when I had them. And I don't even try out here. I know some people do. There's one road that whenever I drive on that, I always slow down and open the windows, no matter how hot it is, because it's a rose farm and you can smell all those gorgeous roses. And oh, it's beautiful. And I don't care if anybody's behind me or not. I'm going to stop and smell the roses. And I always hope that just maybe they will too. So that's my artist trading card. One other thing, I know a lot of people have planners and they put their stickers on and all that. I don't know where they get all the stickers. I don't know if they buy them like at Michael's or whatever. But I have a planner. Look at this. I don't have anything in it, of course, because it's brand new for this year. And I am going to try to keep track of what I'm doing. And I actually got it from the Humane Society, which I do donate to our local branch, so I guess that's where they got my name. And all these nice pictures of all the animals. Well, as you know, I have a dog. I would have a cat too if my dog would let me. But I don't know what happened to her in a previous experience, before I got her, because she's a rescue. But she hates cats and she hates loud noises. She hates thunder. She hates uh, fireworks. And the past couple of weeks have been miserable because there's neighbors in the area that think noisemakers all afternoon and fireworks for most of the evening are a good idea. And last night at midnight, they set off so many fireworks. If I didn't have her, I would have gone outside and watched them because I looked to see, so it was so loud and it was boom, 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 boom. Not just a whoosh and a boom and a minute later, it was constant and it was multi. It was incredible. So I looked out the door and one block, 2 streets away from me, because it's not our community that does it, one whole block length plus half of the other one all lit up. I mean, all different colors and everything. It's gorgeous. If I didn't have her, I would have sat outside and enjoyed it. But because I did have her and because she was absolutely petrified, I didn't appreciate it really. I went back in the bedroom, and my bedroom faces the other way. There's no windows facing where the fireworks were. And even though the blinds were drawn, there was light coming in my room because the sky was so lit up. And it went for half an hour. And meanwhile, she's trying to crawl inside my skin. She wasn't even content for me to hold her in my arms or sit in my lap. She wanted to be up here, wrapped around me. And I had to keep pushing her away because she was pressing against my face. I couldn't breathe, literally. So I would have enjoyed it. But let's see, what else do we have? Oh, I know what I was going to show you. I'm going to show you this first. I told you I would show you progress on Merry Little Christmas. This is it. But I learned something. I learned something very interesting. When I looked at the pattern for this, it doesn't go square to square where you just hit each hole. I looked at it and I thought, this is supposed to be on 14 count Aida, so why would they tell you to put your thread inside all those squares? And then I realized they don't. The lines were longer. So I Googled it and I found out that when you do back stitching, or whatever stitching you want to call it, it doesn't have to be square to square, hole to hole. The idea is to do it so you get the effect you need. And what I need is a banner, because this is going to be a whole banner and there's going to be words inside there. So that's what I started doing. And it makes it so much easier. Yeah, when you do it right, it's easier. So that's what I did. There's a little bit more yellow, and that's how far I got on that one. Because actually every night I've had to sit and hold her, and I can't read, I can't stitch. Can I? Because you're a nervous Nelly, poor baby. This is Full Moon Farm, and I did the tree and the bush, and there's a fence in here. You can see that. It's not finished, you'll see more of it later. And I did stairs, and I did pumpkins. So this is pretty close to finished. So I'm hoping, I'm not promising, but I'm hoping that next time I'll show you this finished. And I don't know, I'm imagining it might just be done as a flat piece rather than framed. Might just put it on some. So I wanted to ask you, just out of curiosity, what do you come to FlossTube for when you look for videos? Are you looking for inspiration? Are you curious to see what other people are doing? Um, are you looking to learn something? You just want companionship while you stitch? You want somebody talking about cross stitch? I'm just curious because I go for a lot of different reasons. Sometimes I'm looking to learn something, and sometimes I just want the noise, and sometimes companionship. I mean, there's a couple like the Sable Stitchers. I feel like I'm sitting there with them, and we're just good friends. And I've never met them, but I have talked to them via email, and they're just such sweet ladies. And I didn't mention Lenny always has a bedtime story, and she tells it right at the end, and her stories are so funny. Seems to me I might have mentioned the talking dog. So anyway, this is my list. These are WIPS, or about to be WIPS. The three bottom ones I'm going to start later today. And over on this side, these are ones that I'm going to start, but I haven't yet because I've got enough to work on for the moment. And maybe I need fabric or something like that. But I do have patterns, whatever's on this side, I do have the patterns. So I just need to get whatever supplies I need. I have a lot of DMC. Um, I have fabric, and I think I have enough fabric to really make a dent in this. And I do plan to start Holiday Skaters. That comes from the Craftways book, and I want to start that on the 25th. I had thought about starting with the people on 4th because of July 4th, but January 4th means other things to me, so I thought, why put it there? I'm just going to start it. Besides, I'm curious about doing it. We'll see what happens, which we'll get to. So also, I have them broken up this way. They're in groups. So for this week, from now until the next video, which will be next week, I am going to work on Group A. Now, Group A is 100 Owls, Erie Express, Ragnarok, We the People, and A Real Snow Job. Although Erie Express, I don't know. I've got it right here. And I love it. I love the pattern. I want it. I want it done. But I'm still not happy with the contrast between the thread colors and the material. I love the fabric, but I'm starting to wonder before I get too far, because I've only done the top of the house, not too much of it like the eaves. Maybe I should get a different fabric for that. Something a little brighter and save the Monster Mash for something else. Some other Halloween. Because I have other Halloween things that I could put on there. It's beautiful fabric though. So I definitely do want to do it. I would like to have this finished by Halloween this year. I don't know if I will. Not if I have to go get other fabric. And not if I have to struggle with the one I have. It's kind of like, what am I going to do? What should I do? I don't know. I mean, I've started it twice. I'm willing to start it, but I don't know. Don't tell me I didn't write it down. I wanted to tell you about something. It's somewhere. I know it is. I thought I wrote it on this paper, but I guess I didn't. All right. This is another one that I'm going to start. I don't know exactly when. See if I have it on a list. This is called Woodland Critters. Did I put Woodland Critters on? No, Woodland Critters is not in the groups yet. So as soon as I finish something in one of the groups, I'll be moving things from the starts over to making them a WIP. This one I bought basically because Kat from Catkin and Lily has done Arctic Animals, and I thought it was really cute, but she was pretty far along, and I think it's a stitch along. And I thought I don't want to start one that's already so far along. I'd rather wait till it's finished and then buy the whole pattern if I'm going to do it. But then I saw this one, and I thought it's small. It's only what is it, 4.5 by a little over 6 when you finish. And I have some fabric that I think will work. So it won't be hard to get this started. It doesn't take too many colors, and I have them already anyway. So that will be maybe the next thing, except for the Christmas one. I can't believe I didn't write this down. I'm a little annoyed that I didn't write that down. And I'm so afraid that I'm going to see it after. All right, this one. I'm going to make this for my son, the one who lives in Pittsburgh. Of my 2 boys, he's the older one. And he's always talking about how old he is. And I don't say anything, but it's like, talk to me in 20 years. Then you'll know what it feels like when the aches and the pains and all that start up. You can't sit there and talk about the aches and pains. You've got to just get your mind somewhere else. But I think it's a cute picture, and it's really a good philosophy, you know. And so many people say that grandchildren keep them young, and I just think it's a perfect picture. And this on 14 count would finish at 10 by 7 3/4. I think I have 14 count that I wanted to do it on. I think I'm going to do it on that polyester yellow, cream, whatever. I'll just probably have to change the child's hair, but I was going to anyway. So I don't know, I might do shades of brown, I might do shades of red. We'll see. I have to find a good red for it. But basically, yeah, I do have, except for the grass, I am not going to stress over matching grass. I'll use what greens I have. Probably mix 2 or 3 colors. But this is one that's on the, uh, not on the list yet for being started. It's waiting for its turn. And then here we have Ragnarok. The Ragnarok, I am going to start that one later today. I have the fabric. I'm very lucky to have the fabric actually because I had a package delivered by a delivery service, and I had a package delivered, a couple of packages delivered by the post office, and I guess they all came at the same time. And I'm getting messages that my packages have been delivered and they're not here. So finally I got one that said it was in a parcel locker because we have big lockers by our mailboxes. And I left a note for my mail carrier and I said, I don't have a key for parcel locker, so where are my packages, please? And he or she, we have, both male and female sometimes. So whoever came that day got everything together for me and put it in a locker and gave me the key. And I have, I have this, I have another fabric, I have my haul. So I have things to show you. So this is actually 28 count antique white. And I'm going to do the Ragnarok on it. This is Lagana. The problem is it's 28 count. Remember I said I'm an Ada girl, that's all I stitch on? I meant to order 25 count, somehow I got 28 count. And when I look at it, I think it shouldn't be impossible, 2/2. Now that I know what 2/2 is. So I'm going to try it. And I'm hopeful that I can do it. There's a lot of stitching on Ragnarok. It's going to cover a lot of this fabric. And I thought antique would be more kind of like a brown type of antique, you know. I mean, when I think of antiques, I think of brown shades. I don't think this is very creamy, I think. So it's okay though. I'll use it. I mean, it's certainly not white. You can see that one next to the paper. Now, come on, kids. You can see the difference. I hope you can. Anyway, I can here. I hope it shows up. So we will see. I don't know. Then this is one I want to start. This is very tiny. This is a very small. And I thought maybe I'll start this October 1st and call it just a quick small for Halloween. It does have beads. And then of course there's Boris the Bat. He's got a green eyes there. So I'm thinking, I'll buy the beads. I might have an orange bead I can use, but it also uses a orchid, so we'll see. It'll finish up on 14 count. It'll finish up at 2.5 by 2.5. 18 count. It'll finish up 2 by 2. If I were to get different fabric for Erie Express, I could use the Monster Mash for this. It would work very nicely, I think, anyway. Now here's another one. I'm really looking forward to starting this. I have to get I don't even know what colors I have. I have to look and see. When they do shading, I don't like to play around too much with the colors. So I'll have to check and see what we have. For instance, they've got gray green very light, gray green very dark. I might want to make sure I have those colors. I know I have ecru. That's one of the colors. But I'm thinking, and when I said it in the review on the website, or who is this? They don't put their names on every page. I don't know why. The designer agreed with me that if I were to use opalescent white, I could skip all that stitching. And I can just do the owl and down here. And I'm thinking, there's some white trees. I might be able to do that in a really pale blue. That might look cute. So we will see. Where did this come from? I don't think her name is on here anywhere. I don't want to pull out the wrong piece of paper either. Well, I'm not starting it yet, so when I do start it, I will have the name of the designer. It is from Etsy. I know that. It's called Christmas Owl 11. So if you're interested in that, this one, I really want to start this one. I think this is one of the ones I'm really excited about starting. I love that cat. And there are other pieces that you can do along with it. I would love to make a series of them. The lighthouse isn't my favorite, but the other two cats, I really want to do the cats. And when you do the houses, you don't have to match up every single color. You can kind of fake that. This is from Heritage Crafts from Susan Ryder. And this is a new chart in 2024. And it finishes at 8 by 8. And I don't know what size that is. It doesn't say it here. I didn't bring all the pieces with me. And I didn't want to risk showing the pattern, but at 8 by 8, that might be 14 count. And it looks so much bigger. I don't know why, maybe because there's so much stuff in it. But I know I have a lot of the floss. So I really want to do that. I think I was thinking of buying the sand colors because I don't know. You're supposed to be looking out the window, but this looks like sand too. So I know if you live at the beach, you get a lot of sand in your house, but I don't think you get that much. Um, this one, this will be a spring start. This is from the Crosswing collection. They have quite a few hummingbirds. This is 2006, the violet eye, green violet eye, ear, green violet ear. I had violet right. Um, I have some of the colors, not all of them. I'm not sure what fabric I'm going to use. It does mention fabric somewhere. It's one of their hand-dyed colors. It's blueberry, and it's on 28 count, which I'm not doing 28 count if I could help it. But I'm pretty sure, picture this plus will have something, or that's what I was going to tell you. I started a subscription to Bestitch Me for fabric, for color fabric. I took a chance. This Ada girl took a chance and signed up for 25 count Lagana. I am determined to learn something new. So we'll see. Now with the Bestitch Me, you get whatever you get. And I don't know if I'm going to get something that I can use or not. Being that I picked the color club because she might give me colors that don't work with the patterns I have or something. I don't know. And then we have the good old standby Prairie Schooler Santa. And I have what I need to do this pattern. I was thinking of making the snowflakes be blue sparkle because I'm going to do it on white. I don't like it on brown. I don't like red and brown together. So I probably will do it on the white. Does it say? Doesn't say what fabric they use. Well, we'll use 14 count then and see what happens. And I probably will just make it the same way I made the trading card. Just put it on a piece of board and maybe make it a stand-up rather than hanging. Because, 4 by 3, it's a nice size. It's doable and all that. But when we hang it on a tiny tree, it's huge. So I'm thinking that I will do that. Like I said, I don't know about the good sparkle thread. I might do it, I might not. This is from Lindy Stitches. This is another one I'm kind of excited about. When she showed it, she laughed about it because she thinks it's very funny. And I also think it's very funny. This is the passive-aggressive raven. And if you notice what this raven says, never mind. So if there's anybody out there you know that says never mind all the time, you might be interested in making this for them. I think I might change the red flowers to purple though, just to stick with the kind of semi-spooky theme of the crow, you know. And I have from shipsmanor.com what's called Winter Sky, and it's 14 count Ada. It's a little bit stiff. I would say that it's firm. It has good body, but you could stitch in hand with this easily if you do. I usually do. When I have a 14 count, I usually stitch in hand, and I like to do the sewing stitch. If it's smaller squares, it can be pretty hard to get the needle to go in and then come back up with the sewing stitch. Then I end up using the hoop. But I kind of got into the sewing stitch because that way I don't have to hold a hoop, which after a while can get heavy and it stresses your wrist. And my wrist doesn't like to be stressed ever since it got hurt that time. That's the card. It's not a floss thing, but it's a cool picture. So, Wendy stitches. Stephanie does mention doing this on a gray. She can see it look nice on a gray. So I'm thinking on Winter Sky. It just might be interesting. What does he finish up? It's on 32, 16 or 32 count, it'll be 5 by 3.69. So that's not too big. And it just might leave me enough fabric to do another piece because I'd still like to do another project that I know of. And for those of you who are interested in full coverage, this is a real snow job. I don't have all of the colors that are listed. I'm going to see what I can work with that I already have. There's some colors that it might be difficult, like there's 3 shades of beaver gray. And I don't want to put in beaver gray and then pick another shade of gray and try to kind of, match them up so that, well, if it's supposed to be shading, I want it to look like shading, not like I put the wrong shade of gray in there. So I might end up buying some DMC and I couldn't do what I'll have to look and see. I'm sure I bought floss since I first did this. I may have more colors, but I definitely want to do this. I love this one. And this is the one I told you I didn't want to do it on white because with all the snow, it would be white on white. So I have 25 count. Thank you. Cream Lugana. And it's right there. I get all my fabric through 1-2-3 stitch. It once in a while I might pick something up in a store like Michael's or Joann's, but this fabric's better. This is nice and soft. You can see that it's floppy. So, so different from the first fabric that I was going to do with that. I mean, that's like I said, when I had opened it, it was like this, only it was tall. And I set it down on the floor thinking it would fall. It didn't. It stood there. Like, no, just could not see myself doing that. So, this is We the People. This is my patriotic piece. There'll be more, but this one is going to be started later today, just because I want to try it. And it will be finished on or before July 4th, 2026. That's the 250th anniversary of the US. So if you want to, stitch a patriotic piece, a lot of people are aiming for that date and they're picking up Constitution. There are other pictures. There's one I saw, I think it was all of the statesmen, and I guess they were either in a meeting or going to sign the Constitution or whatever it was. And that was nice. I'll stick with this one. Not the biggest fan of words, as I've mentioned, but I'm gonna. It doesn't look hard to do. They're all the same. And this is the fabric. It is. Where's the label? Oh dear, where's the label? Well, I know I got it from Photoshop, and it's 25. It's 25 count country vintage mocha. Right? Yeah, pretty sure. So that'll. I think that will come out nice. That's. I think that's the right fabric for that. Now, on this pattern, it's only three colors. And what it is the red and the blue, and then kind of an olive green. And I don't have the olive green. And this olive green, or well, olive, whatever it is, what do they call it? They call it something. Well, wherever it is, there, golden olive. So it's not really green, apparently. And see this? This is 781 DMC. And if you look at this, you can see it looks much more golden than it does green. It doesn't look green at all. Maybe there's golden olives. I don't know. Maybe. Anyhow, what I had wanted to tell you, and I can't believe I didn't write it down because I know I wrote it down somewhere. And I'm really, I'm kind of annoyed that I don't have it. But I thought maybe there was something that I could substitute. But I didn't really know what color golden olive was. And I was thinking green. So I Googled what floss can replace DMC 832. And what came up was a website called Threadbare Stitching. THREAD and then hyphen BARE stitching. And I went there and it was specifically answering my question. And what they have, you can see the entire chart of DMC colors. If your monitor is true to the DMC colors, then you can see exactly what you're looking at regarding specific shades in that. But if not, or if you have concerns about that, just scroll down a little bit more and you can put in the number that you want to replace. And I think I got 4 or 5 suggestions for replacements. And they're all towards this kind of, I don't know, golden brown, really. And so I decided I'm going to go with this one because if I look at this and I look at the print on here, it's similar. So I'm totally wrong thinking that olive is a green color. Who knew? I thought it was. So if you need to match up a color, replace a color, and you don't know which one would work, check out threadbare.com. If I'll have to see. I might have it saved on the computer where I could copy and paste. We will see. Now, one other thing, and this is, well, here, I'll show you this. I love this, and I have tried it a couple of times, and I just never liked the way it came out. I finally realized I didn't like the fabric for this because the fabric itself does not come out this vibrant blue. It's much paler, and I just didn't get that contrast that I really wanted. So I'm thinking that this other fabric, this is a little bit greener than what I would really want, but I was thinking it might work. I'm not sure. And this is Aqua Ada, Riviera Aqua. So I might, it would look nice. Definitely would. The only color against it would be white, so it's definitely going to have that greenish shade to it. So again, I'm not starting it today, so I'll have to think about it. But what this really came for, and this is part of my haul, we're going to segue right into that. What is it? Magic of Christmas. I always say believe in the magic of Christmas or believe in the magic. It's Magic of Christmas, and this is the called for fabric. So that's what I'm going to do it on. I'm not going to start it today. I don't even know if I have it on in my list. I'll have to make sure if I didn't put it on there that I do. And this is the 14 count Riviera Aqua. And again, oh, it's all from 123 Stitch. Um, the fabric that I don't like the color of, I've used for other things. And that came from Stony Creek. And there's nothing wrong with the fabric. It was just the color just didn't make me happy. So to finish it up, I do have some haul, which I wouldn't have a lot of haul if my packages all came individually like they're supposed to. I bought this because I needed a place for my needles. They do stick to the speaker that I use for my computer because I have an external speaker for it. And they do stick to that. But then when I accidentally drop the speaker, well, knock it off, then I end up losing things. So I put in the little sliding top. And I have some of my needle minders fit in there, which is good because they end up falling off the speaker too when I knock it on the floor. And then I have the needle on there. And I want to try to stop putting my needles in my fabric because even if you put it on the edge, it's just not the best place for them. So I've wanted this for so long. I finally got it. I wish they had different colors because I'd love to have one just for needles and one for needle minders. But they only have this one in this color. So maybe I should tell them, step it up. It does have a little dent in it here, but that doesn't affect it. So it works fine. And then this. I got some floss. I don't remember what for. I will put it all wherever it's supposed to be. Put them on their bobbins, and when I get to where I need them, I will have them. But these came from 123 Stitch. I bought some at Michael's and ended up bringing home one that I didn't need. I already have, which was kind of annoying because I'm trying not to do that. But now I got to show you this, and I don't even know if you can see it. They did a nice job of packaging, and I'm not opening the package. You see that little dot in there? That is holly. Holly leaves with a little red berry. And that goes on my pouty owl. So I don't know where I put him. He's not far away. I know that. That is what I already have one, but it's lost. So I ordered another one. And then that package got lost. At the post office, they had it. They had it in Avondale. They scanned it in. They scanned it out of Avondale. They scanned it into Phoenix. They scanned it into the dead letter office. That's what the tracking says. But when Stony Creek contacted them, they said, no, it was never in Avondale. How did they scan it? Because they do. They have to scan the packet. How do you scan the arrival and the departure of something that never got there? I don't know. So Stony Creek made good on the order. And then At the same time, this was part of the lost order. This is Santa Cheer, which I would like to get done. And if you'll notice, look what he's got up there. Holly. If I had realized, I would have voted too. Because he also has this little bell over here, a little jingle bell. And I don't know if I can get a small enough one locally. So I'll have to, I hate to order it. I don't want to do a small package. So I'll have to wait. Maybe in February I can get something. Because I have decided this is a no spend January. I've spent a lot of money lately on cross stitch things. And I have a lot of floss. I have a lot of fabric. I've got the Bestitch Me Club. I'm not sure if I get any fabric in January or not. It depends when she mails it out and when it would get delivered. But my last bit of haul is this. And I just love it. Christmas in the Woods. I think that those deer are so beautiful, so majestic. I don't think I could shoot one. I mean, I'd have to be, that would have to be my only source of food for me to be able to do that. Now, I'm not against what other people do. It's just my own self. I'm happy with a cheeseburger. I don't need to go hunting. Although I like being out there with the camera. But, if you do hunting, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. That's your business. But I did smell somebody cooking deer one time. And I was a nurse. I was doing home care and I was sitting there with the patient. And the family went out. And while I was sitting there, I kept smelling something. And it was just awful. It kept getting stronger and stronger and worse and worse. And then when they came home, the husband said, smell that deer cooking. It smells so good. Now, I know anybody who goes hunting, they're not going to keep hunting if they don't like the way it tastes or if it's too hard to cook or whatever. I don't know what their method was, but it didn't smell good to me. So based on that, I wouldn't want to go hunting because I wouldn't know how to cook it. But I'll stitch them. And I do love this. It's just really cool, I think. And you have the Santa, the little circle of Santa. You have the stocking, and you can put any name on there. There's, I believe there was a pattern in here. Wasn't there a pattern in here? Yeah. There's a pattern for letters, so you could put any name up there. And let's see, the big picture. They teach you how to do a turkey stitch. I never knew a turkey stitch existed, but it comes out kind of like a scallop. So that would be really cool. It does use Glisten Gloss, which is that blending thread, which I do have some. I have the gunmetal gray and I think I have the black copper. And it's beautiful thread. And you just add that. And it uses one color bead. There's back stitching. There's a lot of colors, but it's Anchor and DMC, whatever you like. There's Weeks Dye Works, 5 of them. No, I don't. 4 colors. 4 colors, but 2 different symbols. So I'd have to read the pattern to understand that. But that would be another one that I'll put on my list to get started. And I'm pretty sure that is all I have. I showed you how I have the things in groups and what I want to start. And the columns. I showed you my finishes. I told you what my plans are. Of course, that plan list, that could change because I don't like to be told what to do. I don't even listen to me. So I might switch things around in different groups. And maybe I'll find that stitching on a certain group is too hard because, they're too intense or whatever. And I might want to put something simpler. So we will see how that goes. Um, Next week, I will show you some progress, and I will also show you how I keep my floss and why I don't kit anymore. I used to kit all my projects, and I do not kit. I want no part of kitting. And I think that's it. Thank you very much for being here. I do appreciate it. Tell your friends, tell your family, shout it from the rooftops, and please come back and see me again. If you are a returning viewer, that's awesome. And please say hello in the comments. I'd love to talk to you. We can chit chat about cross stitch. But for now, just have a safe, healthy, happy new year. And I hope every day is better than the one before. Bye.